Welcome to the introduction of the Great Wall of China, an astonishing feat of engineering. It stretches across vast distances of northern China, and its sheer scale inspires awe in all who see it. The wall winds like a giant stone dragon over mountains and deserts. It's not a single continuous structure, but rather a series of fortifications built over many centuries by different dynasties. Its primary purpose was defense against nomadic invaders from the north. The wall stands as a powerful symbol of human endeavor and persistence. The ingenuity required to build it in such challenging terrains is truly remarkable. Imagine the immense labor involved in its construction. Millions of workers toiled over generations, moving massive stones and countless bricks. They worked in harsh weather conditions, from freezing winters to scorching summers. The wall's path deliberately traverses some of the most difficult landscapes, including steep mountain ridges and desolate Gobi Desert expanses. This strategic placement enhanced its defensive capabilities. The engineering skills displayed are evident in its watchtowers, fortresses, and barracks, all integral parts of this colossal defensive system, a testament to ancient planning. The total length of all its branches is estimated to be over 21,000 kilometers, making it the longest man-made structure in the world.
You know, the story of the Great Wall doesn't begin with a single grand plan. It actually starts much earlier, during a period of intense conflict known as the Warring States period, from roughly the 7th century BCE to 221 BCE. Back then, China was divided into several rival states, constantly fighting each other for land and power. To protect their borders, individual states began building defensive walls. These early walls weren't connected into one massive structure. They were localized fortifications made primarily of rammed earth and gravel. These state-level walls were strategically placed to guard vulnerable frontiers against neighboring states and nomadic tribes. States like Qi, Yan, Zhao, Wei, and Qin all constructed their own defensive barriers. The materials used were whatever was locally available. In some areas, layers of earth were pounded between wooden frames to create sturdy sections, while in others, reeds and gravel were incorporated. The purpose was simple: to slow down enemy advances and provide a line of defense.
The unification of China in 221 BCE marked a turning point. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of Qin, conquered all rival states and established the Qin dynasty, a powerful and centralized empire. One of my most ambitious projects was the Great Wall. I envisioned a massive defensive line to protect my new empire, particularly against the Xiongnu, nomadic tribes from the north. I ordered the connection and extension of existing state walls, and commanded the construction of new sections to form a more cohesive barrier. This was a monumental undertaking, requiring immense resources and manpower. Hundreds of thousands of laborers, including soldiers and convicts, were conscripted. The work was grueling and dangerous, and many perished during the construction. The Qin Wall was primarily built using rammed earth, reflecting the techniques of earlier periods. It stretched for thousands of kilometers, from Linzhou in the west to Liaodong in the east. My goal was not just military defense, it was also a powerful symbol of my unified rule and the might of the Qin Empire.
While earlier dynasties contributed to the wall, the Ming dynasty from 1368 to 1644 CE took its construction to an unprecedented level. The Ming rulers faced renewed threats from Mongol and other nomadic tribes, prompting them to embark on a massive building and reinforcement program. The Ming Great Wall is the most extensive and well-preserved section, and it's the iconic image that most people associate with this ancient wonder. This phase of construction lasted for over 200 years, resulting in a far more sophisticated and formidable defensive system than ever before. The Ming dynasty employed advanced construction techniques and materials, largely abandoning rammed earth in favor of stone and brick. Kilns were built along the wall to produce vast quantities of bricks and tiles. The use of stone made the wall stronger and more durable. Mortar, made from lime and sticky rice, was used to bind the bricks and stones, creating an incredibly resilient structure. The Ming Wall featured elaborate watchtowers, fortresses, barracks and command posts, strategically placed to maximize defensive capabilities and ensure efficient communication along its length. The scale of the Ming construction was immense, stretching from Jiayuguan in the west to Huxin in the east, near the Korean border. This section is characterized by its impressive height and width, often running along steep mountain ridges, making it an even more daunting obstacle. The design incorporated sophisticated military features, including crenellations for archers, cannon emplacements, and strategically placed gates.
Section 5, Beyond Bricks and Mortar, the wall's multifaceted roles. The Great Wall of China served purposes far beyond simple military defense.
While repelling invaders was its primary function, its significance was multifaceted. It acted as a clear demarcation of territory.
It marked the boundary between the settled agricultural civilization of China and the nomadic cultures of the steppes.
This physical line helped to define the extent of Chinese imperial control. It also regulated interactions between these distinct societies.
The wall therefore played a crucial role in shaping China's geographical and cultural identity over many centuries.
Economically, the wall facilitated the control of trade and migration. Gates and passes along the wall, such as Shanhai Pass and Jiayu Pass, became important checkpoints.
Here, officials could monitor and tax goods moving in and out of the empire. This allowed the Chinese authorities to manage the lucrative Silk Road trade routes where they intersected the wall.
It also helped to prevent the unauthorized movement of people. This was important for maintaining social order and controlling resources.
The wall, in this sense, was an instrument of economic policy and border administration.
The wall also possessed immense political and psychological significance. For the Chinese emperors, it was a powerful symbol of imperial authority and centralized power.
Section 6. Separating fact from fiction, debunking Great Wall myths. The Great Wall of China is shrouded in numerous myths and legends. Perhaps the most persistent myth is that it is the only man-made structure visible from space, or even from the moon, with the naked eye. This claim is, unfortunately, untrue.
Astronauts from various space missions, including Chinese astronaut Yang Liwei, have confirmed this. While the wall is incredibly long, it is relatively narrow. From low Earth orbit, it is very difficult to distinguish from its surroundings without significant magnification and ideal conditions. From the moon, it is definitively invisible to the unaided human eye.
Another common misconception is that the wall is a single, continuous structure built all at once. In reality, as we have discussed, it is a series of walls and fortifications. These were built, rebuilt, and extended by various dynasties over a period of nearly 2 millennia.
Different sections were constructed using different materials and techniques. Some parts are majestic stone structures, while others are crumbling earthen ramparts. The idea of a single unbroken barrier is a simplification. The wall's history is far more complex and fragmented than this popular image suggests.
There is also the romanticized notion that the wall was always an impenetrable barrier. While it certainly posed a significant obstacle, it was not always successful in preventing invasions. Section 7. The price of protection, the human cost of construction. The construction of the Great Wall of China, across its many phases, came at an enormous human cost. Millions of people were conscripted to work on this colossal project.
The labor force included soldiers, convicted criminals, and ordinary peasants. We were often forced to work under incredibly harsh and dangerous conditions. We faced extreme weather, from bitter cold in winter to intense heat in summer. The terrain was frequently treacherous, involving steep mountains and remote deserts. Accidents were common, and many of us perished from exhaustion, disease, or injury.
The scale of human suffering associated with the wall's construction is difficult to comprehend fully. Historical records and folklore often refer to the wall as the longest cemetery on Earth. This is because it is believed that many of the workers who died during its construction were buried within the wall itself or nearby.
While direct archaeological evidence for widespread burial within the wall is limited for some sections, the sentiment reflects the immense loss of life. Families were torn apart as men were taken away for long periods, often never to return. This left a deep scar on the collective memory.
Section 8. Echoes of Sorrow, the Legend of Mengjiangnu. Among the many stories associated with the Great Wall, the legend of Mengjiangnu is one of the most poignant and enduring. This tale powerfully illustrates the human suffering and emotional toll of the wall's construction.
Meng Jiangnu was a young woman whose husband, Fan Qiliang, was forcibly taken away to work on the Great Wall during the Qin dynasty. After months with no news, I, filled with worry, decided to undertake the long and arduous journey to find him and bring him warm winter clothes. It was a testament to my love and devotion.
She traveled for many days, facing numerous hardships along the way. When she finally reached the section of the wall where her husband was supposed to be working, she received devastating news. Fan Qiliang had died from exhaustion and was buried somewhere within the massive structure.
Overcome with grief, I wept bitterly at the foot of the wall for days. My sorrow was so profound, my wails so heart-wrenching, that a section of the Great Wall, moved by my grief, miraculously collapsed.
Section 9. A legacy in stone architectural ingenuity and modern significance. The Great Wall of China showcases remarkable architectural variations and adaptations to diverse geographical terrains.
Early walls were predominantly made of rammed earth, a practical choice for the materials available on the Los Plateau. During the Ming dynasty, however, construction became far more sophisticated. Kiln-fired bricks and cut stone blocks became the primary materials, especially in strategically important eastern sections like Badaling and Mutianyu.
These materials offered greater durability and allowed for more complex structures, such as intricately designed watchtowers and fortified passes, built to withstand more powerful attacks. The wall's design was ingeniously adapted to the landscape it traversed.
In mountainous regions, it clings to steep ridges, utilizing the natural defensive advantages of the terrain. Builders had to overcome incredible logistical challenges to transport materials and construct on such precipitous slopes. In desert areas like those in Gansu province, the wall was often built using layers of sand, pebbles, and tamarisk branches, materials readily available locally.
Watchtowers were strategically placed within sight of each other, allowing for rapid communication through smoke signals or beacon fires, creating an early warning system across vast distances. Defensive strategies were integral to the wall's architecture.
Watchtowers served not only as signal posts, but also as small fortresses, providing shelter and vantage points for defenders. The height and thickness of the wall varied, generally being more formidable in areas of greater strategic importance or vulnerability.